So here we have Jozef Chen and Elijah Dorsey part 4. This breakdown is going to be on the passing to the back, the claw grip, how Jozef finishes with some special techniques to kind of make it easier to lock up the rear naked choke. So Elijah sees the threat of that, weaving the arm through, as Jozef's trying to elevate that arm up there in that direction, and you can see all Jozef needs to do is get behind this space here. So if Jozef can get through here, then he's going to use his chest, pin his chest to the back of the tricep there, and he's going to take a deep claw grip on Elijah's neck there. So you can see Jozef is keeping his head positioned just to make sure he's always behind the tricep there. He's using his head, which is a good way just to make sure that, you know, Elijah can't pull his arm back and around this way, just so he can keep the back take. And then you can see immediately from this point he's trying to take advantage of Elijah's going to try to defend the hook, but then sometimes what happens there is you give up the arm and Elijah gets his arm trapped. So Jozef is going to take his leg and trap the arm on this side. And you can see Jozef is being very careful about his foot position, so just to avoid any kind of foot locks, as long as we're quite high up from the hips or on the hip line, and also, you know, at one side of the hips, these feet are safe. Now you can see here Jozef is very good with where he's gripping the end of the lever, so he's making sure he's not gripping too high at the wrist, because if Elijah forces his arm out in this direction, he's going to lose that grip. So you can see as Elijah's bringing this arm up, really what Elijah wants to do is he wants to hook over the top of this hand and pull it down in this direction. Okay, but what's good from Jozef, you'll see him, he's putting pressure on the arm here, and why he's doing that, he's trying to raise the elbow line. So we're very strong when our elbows are very close to the hips, but once they move away from the hips, we're very weak. And also it makes it very difficult for Elijah, because he can't pull down in this direction, he would have to pull down or out in this direction, which makes it very difficult for Elijah to defend this arm. And then you can see immediately, as soon as Jozef has made space underneath, so he's pulling back on this to keep that angle of the arm separated from the elbow separated from the hips, and then he's swapping to a top grip on here to then push it down and he can defend the arm again in that direction. And then from there he's pretty much locking up the rear naked with one arm, and Elijah taps.